Prosthetic leg made from 3D printed titanium. Thank you. Why can't we get more of this? We could be printing these bad boys. Look at how cool that is. Cotton candy lobster. 1 in 100 million catch. Donate to the Huntsman Marine Science Center. He'll be safe and sound at the Huntsman, where he'll live out the rest of his life. Aw, he's such a cute little baby. I just want to give him a hug. He might cut off my finger, but he's so cute. 500 types of tomatoes. That's a lot of spaghetti sauce. Also, it's like a rainbow of deliciousness right there. 99-year-old war hero who survived a bad people assassination attempt, plane crash, and breast cancer defeats coronavirus too. Damn. I'll never do what this lady has done in her life, and I respect her for that. The water in both tanks is from the same time and place. The tank is on the right, has oysters. Yeah, it's almost like we shouldn't eat and destroy our natural, biological filters that the world has given us. But no, they're tasty treats, so eat them all. Construction worker Jason Oglesby rescues a woman from the Des Moines River. Wow, I'm sorry if I murdered those names, but hey, that lady got out fine. You do you, buddy. The storm in Wales. That's like a scene right out of the lighthouse. I'd hate to be stuck there. You might go crazy and kill your roommate. Europe in the foreground, Asia in the back. Istanbul. What a beautiful sight. So many different types of buildings. An old TV repurposed into a cat bed. Excuse me, I only have a Bond cat, but where can I buy one of these to give him a sweet place to sleep? The Art Deco train from 1936. I wish this was the future we were supposed to have. This is what everything was supposed to look like, all sleek and rounded like this. I miss those days. We're all supposed to be flying blimps and jetpacks right now. Life and death sculpture. Yeah, that's the kiss of death. I don't like that though. Those realistic bird wings on the skeleton is scary. This is a lunar moth, a species that uses a wasp's disguise to assure its survival against predators. Oh, lunar moths, you might terrify me when you're flying at me, but then you become a cute little baby when you get up close. I love moths, they're so cute. Norwegian forest cat, the biggest, hairiest, fluffiest cat ever, and I want one, and I want a pet serval before I die because they're just amazing, and I love them, and look at how majestic he looks. Currently the world's biggest horse. It's a big horse. What can I say? He's pretty, he's beautiful, and I bet he's powerful. Yeah, that's what I call natural light in my dude. Wildlife photograph of the year, 2019. Yes, it was. He predicted what's happening now. He's trying to social distance and be nice. Removing RAM from a computer while it's on. This visually represents a computer screaming as you chop off parts of its brain. And Toy Story 5 Technology's Secrets got really dark. A 200-year-old wisteria tree in Japan. Wisteria? I think that's how it's pronounced. Holy crap. That looks like the tree straight out of Avatar. Not the crappy live-action movie. I'm talking about the Blue People live-action movie. Rottweiler with vitiligo. Dogs aren't supposed to have eyebrows, but this one just pulls it off. Look at how fancy the pupper is. He's got the pepper and the salt going on. In July 2018, scientists from Russia collected and analyzed 300 prehistoric worms from the permafrost in the Arctic. After being thawed, 2 of the worms began to move and eat. One is dated at 32,000 years old. The other one is 41,700 years old. So, Jerry, how old are you? Oh, just 32,000. I'm still young. What about you, Bob? I'm 41,000. I've lived a good life. Andromeda Galaxy seen from Switzerland. My god, it's so beautiful. I don't think it's real, but still, it's so pretty. Look at the little tree side that goes along with it. When you reach 100 years old in Barbados, you get a stamp in your honor. Excuse me, what? What? I want a stamp in my honor. I'm moving to Barbados the year I turn 100 if I do. This extremely rare blue lobster, 1 every 2 million. Holy crap. It's almost as pretty as the cotton candy one. He's beautiful. Look at the baby boy. Michael Collins, the astronaut who took this photo, is the only human alive or dead that isn't in the frame of this picture, 1969. Oh, that's kind of funny. Good for you, bud. Good for you, Michael Collins. You're better than Neil Armstrong in my eyes. In Lone, an artist named Eminem fills the holes in the sidewalks with mosaic. He calls his art flexing, fixing the sidewalks with small colored ceramic tiles. In France, they call it the sidewalk surgeon, who has been healing the wounds of the city's streets since 2016. Can I get this guy to come to my crappy road in Pennsylvania? There's a pothole so big it dented my car rim. That's scary. Can you come fix that for me, bud? I tried spray painting a penis over it to get him to fill it, but they didn't even do that. This COVID-19 public awareness ad. Distance now, distance later. Oh, we're finally outside again. That's beautiful. An Arctic fox in the process of changing from its winter coat to its summer one. But I'm gonna look so fabulous when I'm beautiful again. It looks like he saw like a scary thing from like a 1920s movie. This couple planted 2 million tree saplings. It took them 18 years. This place now has 293 plant species, 172 bird species, and 33 animal species. 2001, 2019. Hey man, you've left a lasting impact on the earth. Sure, a corporation could buy the land and mow it down, but you made a difference. You definitely generated some new, oxygen and some new homes for animals. You did good. The shadow of this leaf, which looks like a dragon. Roar, I'm a dragon. If you feel like a dragon on the inside, that's what you are on the outside, Mr. Leaf. Lake Baldenies in Esse, Germany. I probably murdered that name. Damn, why can't I live in Germany? I mean, I lived near the Black Forest for like 3 months on a student exchange program to learn German. Did not work at all, but I had a good time snowboarding. But still, my trees aren't that pretty during the fall. Mixed wood kayaks. Okay, I've actually seen these in person, not these exact ones. They're freaking awesome, and the way they reflect on the river when it's all smooth, ooh, baby, it makes my day. Christopher Tolkien explains why his father J.R.R. Tolkien wrote down The Hobbit in the first place, when it was originally intended to be an oral bedtime story for his children, found in the foreword to The Hobbit 50th Anniversary Edition 1987. Damn the boy. Hashtag, have you ever been so annoying you caused the reinvention of an entire literary genre? Yeah, I'm getting there, because I'm real annoying. Ecodome, Patagonia. Huh, that's pretty cool. I want to sleep there. That looks comfy as heck. It's both a biodome and a triangle. It's both, and I frickin' love it. This proud Aboriginal elder travels 1,864 miles to be at his granddaughter's graduation. Look at the smiles on both their faces. Heck yeah, dude. I hope every frickin' grandpa does this for all their kids. According to Switzerland's law, social animals like guinea pigs must have a buddy with them. Owning one is considered animal abuse and is illegal. Another reason Switzerland is so fantastic. They're neutral, they're great, they make delicious desserts, and on top of that, they don't let poor little guinea pigs be alone. Kid with disability uses it to his advantage as a Mad Max cosplay. I've seen this before, and I'll say it again as I have in the past. You deserve to ride on the Fury Road, my friend. You deserve it. An Australian veterinarian performed a 45-minute surgery on a goldfish named George. His owners were quite attached to him, so they paid to have a tumor removed from his head. Thank you. Fish are people too, my man. Fish are people too. They're not actually people, but hey, they're buddies. We paid a lot of money to have a tumor removed on my pet rat when I was little, and she lived for 8 more years. I love that thing. A family photo of owls. Oh, look at the little owls. They're like, who's out there? Who's out there? I've been bored during lockdown. It's made from cardboard and hot glue. Yeah, some of us have talent during lockdown or have made a huge body transformation. I haven't cut my hair in over, I think, 2 years now, and I've been talking on a microphone more than ever, and I've built my booth again and again and again, and it still doesn't look as nice as this house. But, dude, that's freaking sweet. 20 out of 5. That means it's amazing. Nutmeg, the world's oldest cat, celebrating his 31st birthday, 141 in human years. Still looks like a spry devil. Yeah, sure he's lived a long life, doesn't really like to be petted, will bite you if you look at him wrong. But gosh darn is he one happy kitty. Look at that smile. Long exposure picture of plane taking off. I didn't need to see this, or let me say I didn't need to know I needed to see this. I would hang this as a poster on my wall, I swear to God. This should basically be the law at all ruins. Krzvik Fortress in Siberia with a window to its glorious past. Dude, why don't we have this? It would be so easy to do and only cost a little bit of money. Why talk tick does not sound right to your ears. That's right, I'm about to read this entire article to you. Ever wondered why we say tick-tock and not talk-tick, or ding-dong, not dong-ding, King-Kong, not Kong-King? Turns out it is one of the unwritten rules of English that narrative speakers know without knowing. The rule, explains a BBC article, is if there are 3 words, then the order has to go I I-A-O. If there are two words, then the first is I and the second is either A or O. Mismash, chit-chat, dilly-dally, shilly-shally, tip-top, hip-hop, flip-flop, tic-tac, sing-song, ding-dong, King Kong, ping-pong. There's another unwritten rule at work in the name Little Red Riding Hood, says the article. Adjectives in English absolutely have to be in this order: opinion, size, age, shape, color, organ, material, purpose, noun. So can have a lovely little old rectangular green French silver whittling knife, but if you mess with the word order in the slightest, you'll sound like a maniac. That explains why we say little green man, not green little man. But big bad wolf sounds like a gross violation of the opinion. Bad size, big noun, wolf, order. It won't though. If you recall the first rule about the I-A-O order, that rule seems inviolable. All four of horse feet make exactly the same sound, but we always say clip clop, never clop clip. This rule even has a technical name, if you care to know it: the rule of aberrant repetition. Yes, pronounce that correctly, but then life is simpler knowing that we know the rule without knowing it. I'm gonna say clop clip from now on. Clop clip, talk tick, dong ding. Check out my dong ding. History hustle. Chad Vara, sorry if I mispronounced that, a priest saw a funeral for a 14-year-old girl who sadly ended it all. After having no one to talk to when her first period came, believing it was an STD, he recalled thinking, "Little girl, I never knew you, but I promise you that you have changed my life." He vowed to encourage sex education and to help people who were contemplating, that in 1953. Vera founded the world's first hotline. Sorry, I would say it, but it's a sensitive word for a lot of people.
It's a chemistry. Boo! We hate chemistry. Yeah, we only like biology. Guys, things. In 1945, a group of Soviet school children presented a U.S. ambassador with a carved U.S. seal as a gesture of friendship. It hung in his office for 7 years before discovering it contained a listening device. Oh no, it was a trick. It was a trap. I love how the guy's just sitting there like, "I've been bamboozled, you see?" Ukrainian Alyona Kravchenko from Odessa has been growing her hair since she was 5 years old. She is now 34 years old, and she can boast her hair at 1.8 meters long. "Rapunzel, is that you? She's beautiful. Rapunzel, let down your hair. I've been dreaming of a true love's kiss." One of the most incredible moments of my life happened almost exactly a year ago, when I witnessed this comment with my naked eyes. Here's a photo I captured to try and do the moment justice. Oh, now that really is beautiful. I'm glad you got a picture of it, because imagine trying to explain this to someone. You'd be sitting there like, "It was like the stars in the galaxy were like cutting through the air and it was crazy." And all the friends are just gonna be like, "Yeah, sure, buddy. That totally happened." Did you know a man in Washington state found a caterpillar that looks like it has an image of a human face on its back? The internet is pretty sure it's Edgar Allan Poe. What do you mean pretty sure it's Edgar Allan Poe? It definitely is. Look at it. This injury at birth left Ray with only the right ear. As she grew, it moved to the top of her head, making her a cute golden unicorn. Okay, that has got to be the rarest condition I've seen so far, and I absolutely love it. Kudos to you, Ray. Ray the doggo, you're amazing. The ISS spotted an exotic type of upside-down lightning called a blue jet, zipping up from the thundercloud into the stratosphere. Ah, yes, reverse lightning. This time we strike Zeus. Take that, you unfeeling god. On a flight in the plane, a Saudi prince bought seats for each of his 80 falcons, because that's what a good pet owner does. Alright, shout out to this guy. My wife climbed a mountain located over 12 miles from our house yesterday. She jokingly asked me to use my big lens to take her picture when she reached the summit. To both of our surprise, I was actually able to. "Honey, I'm over here. Woohoo!" Now that's pretty cool. A cyclist's legs after stage of the Tour de France. Oh yeah, all muscly, all veiny. Is this healthy? I don't know if it's healthy or not. What I can say is you have to be an absolute monster to do these cycling events, because it's big. It's seriously challenging. This is pretty cool. I got my husband in chroma glasses so he could finally see the colors of his lowrider he built. See, now what if he put puts on the glasses and is like, oh man, I've been driving around this? I hate this color. A drawing which took 125 hours and was done entirely in charcoal and graphite pencils. Wait, this is a drawing? Oh my, who did this? Who drew this? It's so good. It looks like a photo. Man, artists are too talented. I don't care what anybody says. If you're an artist, you're inhuman. It's too good. Artists are just getting too talented, man. This is almost an inhuman level amount of skill. Blood drop pearl necklace. Now that's cool and all, but it definitely looks like you just walked out of a murder mystery. Who designed this? You know what? Let me guess. The butler did it, right? In 2011, 2 Nepali men climbed Mount Everest and then proceeded to paraglide off of the summit. They landed 35 kilometers away. Then they hiked and kayaked to the Bay of Bengal, winning the National Geographic Adventurers of the Year. Hey, you know what? These guys earned it. These guys are some serious mad lads. Not only did they climb Everest, but then they jumped off Everest. There's gonna be a world record, right? Whale Museum looks like the whale of Norway. Now that right there, that's some next level design. Koi hanako, the oldest koi fish ever recorded, born in Japan in 1751 and died in 1977 at the grand old age of 226 years old. Aw man, rest in peace. But over 200 years old, that's a good life. Ginger hair convention. Huh, wait, I don't get it. There's not a soul in sight. Ba-dum-tsh. Haha, take that, Ginger's next meme. Cheetahs are naturally nervous animals, so they have support dogs when they have to be captivated. Oh, it's so cute. I just want to snuggle the dog and run away from the cheetah because it's still a cheetah and I would never get that close. But oh, it's so cute. Eric Musambani has never seen an Olympic-sized swimming pool before the 2000 Olympics. He recorded the slowest time in 100-meter freestyle history at 1 minute and 52 seconds. However, he won his heat as all other competitors false started. He is now a national hero as the head swimming coach of Equatorial Guinea. Hey, you know what they say, slow and steady wins the race. And in this case, they literally meant it. Cleaned up under a bridge today. I found these quilts out of grocery bags that are handmade. Now, why would anybody throw this away? This is so good. Hey, well, one person's trash is another person's treasure. Cool find. The Iberian lynx, one of the rarest cats on earth. Yo, why does this thing look like a soldier? Bro is staring us up and down. It's like, I'll find where you live. I mean, meow, meow. This floating bed my son built for his new apartment. Whoa, who is your son, Marty McFly? Dude's got a hoverboard for a bed. A page from Teddy Roosevelt's diary. It was the day his mother and wife both died in 1884. February 1884. The light has gone out of my life. Aw. A while back, someone from r/autism expressed how it feels for them when they're overstimulated / having a meltdown. This person decided to draw it out. However creepy the image may seem, I and many others could finally relate to an image. This is how it feels when an autistic person has a meltdown. Oh, that is creepy, but also very telling. Man, my empathy just went way up because if I had to feel like this, I don't know how I'd respond. Tulip season in Netherlands. Oh, it's like making the world into a rainbow. I love this. What can't the Netherlands do? 2,000-year-old Roman mosaics found near the Euphrates. Oh, now that's some treasure hunter stuff. Imagine like coming across this. I would immediately lose my stuff. The lost treasure of the Romans. It's real. Man, forget Outer Banks. I'm here to see that Euphrates Banks, if you know what I'm saying. Shot of Mount Fuji from the street in Japan. Whoa. The mountain's just towering over everything. But what can I say? It makes for a great view. Never-ending Fence is complete. Not only is it complete, it's downright mesmerizing. How does this work? A size comparison between the Titanic and a normal modern-day cruise ship. Man, here we were thinking the Titanic was impressive. Look at this. Yeah, I guess it's gonna take a lot more than an iceberg to crash one of those. The 5,000 medal cases for the Tokyo Olympics were all handmade by a handful of craftsmen in a town with a population of 4,400 in Hokkaido. Now that's true craftsmanship. Kudos to the people who made it. Shizukana Curry took the whole slow and steady thing a bit too far. Takes part in the 1912 Stockholm Olympics marathon. Returns to Japan without telling race officials. Gets considered missing by Swedish authorities for 50 years. Gets invited back to complete the marathon after the Swedish find out that he's still alive. And then completes the 1912 marathon in a time of 54 years, 8 months, 6 days, 5 hours, and 32 minutes. Okay, he might not have won the race, but he definitely finished it, and I'll be darned if that's not a world record. Longest race takes 54 years to complete. Thomas Jefferson's 6th grade grandson recreates famous portrait. Oh, now that's cool. You know what they say, like father, like great-great-great-great-great-great-great-great-grandson. I mean, the complexion is uncanny. In 1996, a US Army doctor saved the life of a North Vietnamese soldier by amputating his right arm and stopping the gangrene. The doctor kept the bones of the amputated arm and then took it back to the US in 2012. He returned to Vietnam to bring the bones back to the soldier. Oh, I love that. The doctor's probably like, hey buddy, I heard you could use a hand. Hey, where are you going? Why are you crying? Stop crying. It was a joke, come on. An artwork showing the dead and alive by Marco Papatic. It only goes to show you that there's beauty in both death and life. Cool artwork. Over Over 500,000 trucks are waiting in Louisville, Kentucky for a chip made in China. This is why dealers don't have any on their lots. Wait, so you mean to tell me that a bunch of trucks that are meant to be spread out in America are being held hostage by China? Oh god, they've won! Pistol dueling was a sport at the 1906 and 1908 Olympics. In 1908, the sport involved two men competitors wearing protective equipment for their hands, face, and torso, firing at each other with pistols loaded with wax bullets. Aw, why isn't this still a thing? We've got even better protective gear. And come on, this would instantly become the most entertaining Olympic sport. Gymnastics, track, snowboarding, forget all that stuff. I want to see people shoot each other. Incredible Inca skull. This Inca skull underwent trepanation and a gold plate was used as an implant, resulting in clear bone reconstruction and osseointegration, indicating that the patient survived. Peru, over 500 years old. Yo, we thought that modern medicine had surgery down? No, these guys were doing it over 500 years ago. Hey doctors, take notes. Although nowadays, if they plated us with gold in our skulls, our hospital bills would really be going up. Hey, you can't pee here. If you do, we're not gonna sue you, we're not gonna fine you. No, we're gonna record it and put it on YouTube, okay? Honestly, that might make for some pretty good content. That's right, baby, it's all about that content. The creeping devil is a rare species of cactus that is not only capable of cloning itself to survive, but it's also capable of detaching itself from its major to then shoot off and move through the desert over time. Oh gosh, they're multiplying. Seriously though, this cactus is a born survivor. They're like, I'm not gonna die, I'll clone myself. And then next thing you know, boom, they own the entire desert. This tree grew inside of the stop sign. Oh, that is beautiful. It's sitting there like, stop, it's the circle of life. I took a picture of oil on soap water and it looked like planets. Ah yes, to infinity and beyond. Houston, this is just soap water. 140 million year old dinosaur femur found in France. Yo, that is epic. Jeez, dinosaurs must have been huge. Look at that bone. Swedish millionaire Johan Eliash, it doesn't matter, purchased 400,000 acres of the Amazon rainforest from a logging company for $14 million for the sole purpose of its preservation. You see, now that's how you be a good millionaire. We love to see it. After the fall of the Soviet Union, a city in Ukraine was getting rid of all their communist statues. A local artist converted the last remaining one into Darth Vader.
We shall no longer rise up, communists.
Imagine walking through a museum and finding a 100-year-old painting of yourself from another life. Oh, now that is something else. I would start going up to people who look at the painting and be like, oh yeah, that painting right there? Yeah, that's me. I know it's over 100 years ago, but yeah, no big deal. The seal is perfectly illuminated for about 1 minute on Veterans Day every year. Memorial in Anthem, Arizona. This is architecture done right. Not only is that something you don't want to miss, but it's a great way to memorialize the troops. Mwah, 10 out of 10. After 17 years of consistent drawing, I can finally draw anything from my imagination. Oh, and you weren't kidding. Jeez. If this doesn't scream talent, I don't know what does. Hold on, can we zoom in? Look at all that detail. I'm just blown away by this. Dr. Barry J. Marshall was convinced that H. pylori bacteria causes stomach ulcers, but no one had believed him. Since it was illegal to test this theory on humans, he drank the bacteria himself, developed ulcers within days, and treated them with antibiotics, and then went on to win a Nobel Prize. This man's a mad lad. He was like, fine, you don't believe me? Watch this. He deserves a Nobel Prize, honestly. Lunar eclipse and Mars across the sky. It's beautiful. This 102-year-old man has driven the same Rolls-Royce for 82 years, a 1928 Rolls-Royce. Oh, look how proud he is. He's like, hey, you see what I got here? A classic. Gary Gygax's wife was convinced he was having an affair, so she followed him to a dimly lit basement and burst into the room, only to find him and his friends hunched over hand-drawn maps. Gary would then go on to invent the role-playing game Dungeons and Dragons. Aw, that's so mean. I can imagine the wife's like, I thought you were cheating on me, but it's worse. You're playing Dungeons and Dragons without me. How could you, you monster? This is Teardrop, made and installed by the Russians to honor those who died in 9/11. Now that is truly a beautiful monument. Neil Armstrong's family watching their dad fly to the moon. Hey mom, is dad coming back for dinner? What? No, are you not paying attention? This beautiful custom forged axe. Whoa, now that is something else. Seriously, that looks like something Thor would wield. In 2017, a dog named Odin refused to leave his flock of goats behind during the California Tubbs fire as his owner fled to safety. Days later, the owners came back to their property to find that Odin survived. But not only did he manage to survive, he also managed to keep all of the goats alive as well as some deers that had joined the flock. Odin's sitting there like, yeah, I saved everyone. Yeah, no big deal or anything. Japan had issues with crow nests on electrical infrastructure, so they went and destroyed all of the nests, which prompted the local crow population to just build more nests, far in excess to what they actually needed. Hey, little known fact, crows are actually geniuses. They're so big-brained, it's insane. Not only that, but they're really good at tricking humans. Like, for instance, I'm a crow. What, you don't think I'm a crow? What are you, some kind of weirdo? Of course I am. You've never seen my face. In Tikrit, Iraq, there is a 6-foot-tall monument of a shoe that journalist Mudahar al-Zidi threw at George Bush. Ah, yes, what a beautiful memory. Okay, maybe not beautiful for everyone, but it was still kind of funny. I'm pretty sure he missed like both times, right? Doing the time warp. Now that's an epic grandfather clock. Seriously, no, that might just be the coolest grandfather clock out there. Wait, did he tie it in a knot? Like, how do you even do that? In 2014, NASA emailed a wrench to space. When an astronaut aboard the International Space Station required a ratcheting socket wrench, the space agency had one designed and then emailed the file to him. Then a 3D printer aboard the ISS built the tool in 4 hours. It was the first time that an object had been designed on Earth but built in space. Okay, now that's cool and all, but why wasn't there already like a wrench on the ship if somebody would have needed it? Like, wouldn't that be important? Like, I don't know. It's still cool though. Apparently one man does this with a rake. Oh my. Somebody arrest this man. He's clearly an alien. Put him in like Area 51. Do whatever you have to, but somebody get this man. In 2009, a pigeon named Winston raced Telkom, South Africa's largest internet service provider. They did this to see who could deliver 4 gigabytes of data to a location 60 miles away the fastest. By the time Winston arrived with a 4 gigabyte flash drive, Telkom had transmitted only 4% of the data. Man, forget AT&T. We all need Winston in our lives. Aw yeah. Al Capone is the reason we have expiration dates on milk bottles. After his niece became extremely ill from bad milk, the powerful Chicago gangster lobbied aggressively for expiration dates to be put on the milk for the safety of children and pregnant women. Yes, you are a bad guy, but this does not mean you are a bad guy. No, he's still pretty bad. Doug Jones, the chameleon. I don't know why they call him a chameleon. He looks pretty normal. Oh yeah. So that's all him. All Doug Jones the chameleon? More like Doug Jones, CEO of Halloween costumes. Seriously, this guy's got to be the most popular person at a Halloween party. This just in, old people line up to clean radiation in Japan. Mr. Yamada, I am 72, and on average, I probably have 13 to 15 years left to live. Even if I were exposed to radiation, cancer could take up to 20 or 30 years, or even longer to develop. Therefore, us older ones have less chance of getting cancer. So basically, a group of 200 plus retirees are volunteering to expose themselves to high levels of radiation so the younger men and women don't have to, making the ultimate sacrifice to protect the lives of their children and their children's children. Absolutely incredible. Age 11 versus age 16. My drawing progress. Hey, I mean, even at 11, I probably couldn't do half as good as that one, but looking at how far you've gone, it's incredible. I mean, kudos, for real. Artists are just like the coolest people ever, because like, how do you just pick up a pencil or like a paintbrush or like a sculpting stick? I don't even know what you call them, but like, how do you pick that up and make something so beautiful? It's absolutely incredible. Marion Stokes is a Philadelphia woman who began taping whatever was on television in 1979 and didn't stop until her death in 2012. The 71,000 VHS and Betamax tapes she made are the most complete collection preserving this era of TV. They are being digitalized by the Internet Archive. See, everybody was probably like, Marion, you gotta get rid of those VHSs. And she's like, no, I'm gonna be a hero. And she absolutely was, so like, kudos to her. 365 puzzles for the price of one. Wait, how does that make sense? I mean, I know it does. So you take the calendar, and depending on what day it is, you design the puzzle to fit that day. Okay, now that is like a next level design. Typically having several dogs at any given time, Curly was known to come home often with strays he found along his travels. He would foster the strays until he was able to find them new homes. It is estimated that Curly saved and rehomed more than 5,000 dogs in his lifetime, making him a man before his time with his humane concern for man's best friend. This man took loving dogs to a whole nother level. What an absolute saint. Meet Mayor Max Jr., the elected mayor of Idlewild, or Idlewild. I don't know. So tell us, what are some of the policies you'd like to enact as mayor? Well, first I'd like to fire each and every mailman that's out there. Then I order that we go to the pound and let all of the dogs out. This is of course done to get rid of the pesky squirrel problem we have in our forests. Oh yes, and every neighborhood must have a dog park now. Let's raise the roof. Oh, I mean, I'm a dog. Yes, so woof woof. When filming the final scene in Kingpin, where Bill Murray's character bowls 3 strikes in a row, Murray actually did bowl 3 strikes in a row on the first try. His celebrations and the crowd going wild were both genuine. Geez, I know Bill Murray is talented, but that's on a whole nother level. Apparently he's a professional bowler now too. Mammoths were still walking the earth when this grasshopper weight was hand carved almost 4,000 years ago in Bronze Age Babylonia, circa 1800 BCE. Wow, all those years ago, and they were able to carve this thing in such detail. It really is nice. Bill Paxton and Lance Henriksen are the only 2 actors to be killed by the Terminator, Predator, and Alien. Oh, now that is definitely a brag. I don't care how cool you are. If you haven't been killed by the Predator, Alien, and the Terminator, are you really cool? I didn't think so. One of the first cat photos ever taken. 1880s. Aww. Maybe there's something that goes on in us human brains that are like, Cat Fluffy must take pic. Because we're still taking cat photos to this day. It's beautiful, really. When Volvo invented the 3-point seatbelt in 1959, they made the patent free for all competitors to use in order to save lives. This is because it had more value as a free life-saving tool than something to profit from. Seriously, it almost seems evil to patent the seatbelt, like that could save so many lives. I'm glad they made the right decision. Nikola Tesla describing a cell phone in 1926. When wireless is perfectly applied, the whole world will be converted into a huge brain, which in fact is all things being particles of a real and rhythmic whole. We shall be able to communicate with one another instantly, irrespective of distance. Not only this, but through television and telephony, we shall see and hear one another as perfectly as though we were face to face, despite intervening distances of thousands of miles. And the instruments through which we shall be able to do all of this will fit in our vest pockets. Wow, dude was spot on. Although not a lot of people wear vests, but I mean still. A Holocaust survivor recalls the moment of her liberation and the unexpected way it changed her life forever. I stood in the doorway of that factory, and I knew I was free. I saw a strange car coming down the hill. The car had a white star of the American Army on its hood. 2 men in strange uniforms sat in it. We gathered them to be Americans. One of the men came towards me, and I looked up at him with incredible awe and disbelief that I was looking at someone who fought for us. Of course I was terribly frightened. I looked at him and said, "We are Jewish." There was a long pause. Then he said, "So am I." It was the greatest moment of my life. He asked me to come with him, and he held the door open for me. He has now been holding that door open for 50 years as my husband. Aww. Seriously, that is so beautiful. So it turns out that great tits can and do kill and eat both other birds and small mice when food is scarce, particularly during winter. And I cannot get over this picture. It looks like the kind of photo hunters take with their kills. I'm losing it. That bird's like, "Yeah, you see, I rustled me up some good eating." Meet Blade Runner. A humpback whale named this because she survived after being cut by a boat propeller in 2001. You see them scars right there? Them scars tell a story. A beautiful story of a whale who actually survived and lived a happy life. We love to see it. The Maasai of Kenya have a cricket team that they use to promote awareness of and campaign against social issues such as female genital mutation and childhood marriages. You see everyone, this is what heroes look like. Thomas Jefferson's great-great-great-great-great-grandson recreates his photo. Stunning. The resemblance is uncanny. Difference between orange suit and white suit. Did you ever wonder why some astronauts sometimes wear orange suits and sometimes white? The orange-colored Advanced Crew Escape Suits, or ACEs, is the Space Shuttle Ascent and Entry suit. This particular color is highly visible against any kind of landscape, especially in the sea. The white-colored ones are the bulkier extravehicular activity suits. That is because white reflects the strong heat of the sun and is easily visible against the black expanse of space. The more you know. This should basically be the law at all ruins. Kruzvac Fortress in Serbia with a window to its glorious past. Aw, now that is some next level design right there. Yeah, they're right. This should be everywhere. Introducing the Russian space pen. You see, when NASA first started sending astronauts into space, they realized that a ballpoint pen would not work at zero gravity. $1 million investment in 2 years of tests resulted in a pen that could write in space, upside down, on almost any surface, and at temperatures ranging from below freezing to over 300 Celsius. When confronted with the same problem, the Russians used a pencil. You'd think that's a good idea, but check this out. In the early years of spaceflight, both Russians and Americans used pencils in space. Unfortunately, pencil lead is made of graphite, a highly conductive material. Snapped graphite leads and particles in zero gravity are highly problematic, as they will get sucked into the air ventilation or electronic equipment, easily causing shorts or fires in the pure oxygen environment of the capsule. After the fire in Apollo 1, which killed all of the astronauts on board, NASA required a writing instrument that wasn't a fire hazard. Fisher spent over $1 million of his own money creating a pressurized ballpoint pen, which NASA bought at $2.95 each. The Russian space program also switched over from pencils shortly after. 40 years years later, snide morons on the internet still snigger about it, because snide morons on the internet never know what they're talking about. Geez, you would have thought the pencil would be a good solution, but no. They were onto something creating a space-proof pen. Juan Catalan spent nearly 6 months in jail for a murder of a teenage girl until his lawyer found unused footage from a HBO's Curb Your Enthusiasm episode that proved he had been at a Dodgers game with his 6-year-old daughter. Oh, yep, cue the theme song. Boom, boom, boom. Two volunteers in India give lessons to poor children under the bridge for free. You see, because that's what good teachers do. Hats off to these teachers. My dad is a house painter and has recently started framing leftover paint from inside of work buckets. He calls it bucket art because we're from Maine. I hope you guys think it's as interesting as I do. Hey, your dad might be onto something. That looks like an actual legitimate painting. He just might make some good money off of it. I just found out how koalas are weighed, and it's the cutest thing ever. You mean this isn't a normal tree? I don't know what to believe anymore. Magic carpets, the art of Feig Ahmed's melted and pixelated rugs, where pieces sell for upwards of $15,000. Typically, they begin as a classic pattern that encounters an obstacle or glitch, a sort of technical meltdown. Oh, now I see why this goes up for $15,000. That must have taken a lot of time to stitch up. 10 out of 10 for creativity. Lala, an uninjured king penguin, was nursed back to health in Japan. He refused to leave his caregivers, so they adopted him and gave him an air-conditioned room in their house. He would explore the neighborhood, receive fish from the store, and lived with the family for 10 years before dying of old age in 1996. Ah yes, a life well lived. This is the closest photo of Saturn ever taken. Wait, how did they get so close to Saturn? No, really, was an astronaut just standing there with like a Kodak film camera, just like, I finally got it? What orthodontic surgery can do. This person with a bit of a sunken chin, and then after surgery they look like this. I gotta say, that is a considerable difference. Someone punched a hole in the wall in the men's bathroom and the staff decided to frame it. Ah yes, fragile masculinity, artist unknown, 2018. That is brilliant. Excellent job. Scientists believe that a function of a zebra's stripes is to deter insects, so a team of researchers painted black and white stripes on several cows and discovered that it reduced the number of biting fleas landing on the cows by more than 50%. Oh, I love this. The farmer's sitting around like, the gosh darn cows are getting bit too much. So he just grabs a Sharpie and some whiteout and turns them into zebras. I love it. In the 1930s, a flute player had a pet lyre bird that mimicked his music. He later released it into the wild. Fragments of the flute player's music were passed down by generations of lyrebirds and are still present in their songs today. Ayo, forget marketing your music on SoundCloud, just sing it to a couple of birds. In a couple of years, you're gonna be the most popular person in the animal kingdom. Jim Thorpe, a legendary Native American athlete, had his shoes stolen just before he was about to compete in the Olympics. He found a mismatched pair of shoes in the trash can, and he went on to win a gold medal wearing them. He was also the first Native American to win a gold medal for the United States. What a lame tactic it is to like steal someone else's shoes just so they can like lose the competition, but this guy wasn't having any of it. He's like, I don't need the same pair of shoes, I'll wear different sizes. And you know what? I'll still win a gold medal. Excellent, just excellent. My latest sandcastle. Aw, come on. It's magnificent. You know, this is just for fun on the beach, like you didn't have to build yourself a new house. Cleft lip and cleft palate, 2-week surgery. Here's before and after. I love how this kid was able to maintain a smile throughout the whole thing. That's beautiful. This is what Tokyo, the largest city on earth, looks like from a plane. Can you imagine like Aladdin trying to talk about this? He'd be like, I can show you the world. Towers, buildings, lights, millions of people. Oh my god, it's too much! It would completely fry his brain, I'm just saying. Chicago public school teacher Dwayne Reed, whose wife is 8 months pregnant with their first child, requested to work from home to minimize his COVID risk. His school district said no, so Reed's teaching remotely from right outside his school. This man is determined not to get the virus. He's like, I'll stay in the cold. The Orgon accumulator was a device sold in the 1950s. Its inventor claimed it allowed a person sitting inside to attract orgon, a massless healing energy. When the FDA was investigating the device, they noted that one purchaser, a college professor, knew it was phony but found it helpful because his wife sat quietly in it for 4 hours every day. Forget orgon's massless healing energy. This guy is projecting incredible boomer energy. He's like, look, I know it's fake, I just don't like spending time with my wife, man. What can I say? Cistercian monks made a numeral system in the 13th century. A single symbol would represent numbers up to 9,999. They were used for years, divisions of text, the numbering of notes and other lists, indexes and coordinates, arguments and Easter tables, and even for musical notation. Now, at first glance, it does kind of look super confusing, like how could somebody read this? But if you take a little bit of time to like understand how the numbers work, it actually kind of makes sense. An original Zippo of the war in Vietnam. Vietnam, Saigon, 1968 to 1969. Too young to vote, but not to die. Too young to love, but too old to cry. Oh, that's a collector's item if I've ever seen one. Before and after of a man who walked across China for a year. Aw, this man has seen some things. He has lived, he's experienced. Honestly, the dude looks like he's been through a lot. A father designs a headstone for his wheelchair-bound son, depicting him free of his earthly burdens. Aw, what a great way to memorialize your son. Ascending upwards, presumably going to a better place. Nicely done. Where the terms uppercase and lowercase came from the early days of the printing press. Oh, so there's like a literal uppercase and lowercase. I didn't know that. Did you guys know that? That's crazy. The longest road in the world that a person can walk on. So on one trip, you could travel from Africa, Europe to Asia? Yo, that's an insanely long ride. You're gonna need a lot of trail mix to get through something like that. Scientists have managed to revive a plant from the Pleistocene in their vials. This guy is 32,000 years old. 32,000 years old and still looking good for a flower. Genetics is so cool. My parents always told me that I look like my dad's mom, but I never got to meet her before she passed away. On the right is my grandmother holding my dad, and on the left is me holding my son, taken exactly 63 years apart. Oh my goodness, no, you look exactly like your grandmother. That is insane. Super uncanny. Turning a dead tree into a small free library that looks like something straight out of a fairy tale. The creativity alone to see a dead tree and say, this could be a library. Definitely a weird idea, but great execution. Age 15 versus age 17. I'm not gonna lie, for somebody like me who doesn't understand the basic fundamentals of art, both of these look really good. Population density of the USA. Huh, would you look at that? So people really don't live in North Dakota. I knew that was a fake state. Former billionaire Chuck Feenley has given away over 99% of his $6.3 billion to help underprivileged kids go to college. He is now worth $2 million. Yes, because that is what heroes do. And hey, could you pay for my college? That'd be pretty cool. There's a festival in Nepal that dedicates an entire day to thank dogs for their friendship and loyalty. You know, I think every country should have this holiday. It doesn't have to just be about dogs, like it could be about any pet you have, but like, yeah, this is actually pretty cool. Daft Punk performing helmetless in 1993. A forbidden photo. We're not supposed to see Daft Punk without their helmets on? It's like accidentally walking in on somebody who's using the bathroom. Just close your eyes. We're not supposed to see this. Never too late. Grandma goes to the gym and this is her now. Jeez, grandma is ripped. Aw, come on. All of the memes from like the early 2010s are just, they're all grown up now. They're mature. They look like normal people. I don't like it one bit, but I'm glad they're doing well. Oh, except for the guy at the bottom. Yeah, no, he still looks like a meme. This sashimi roll. Ignore the fact that I might have pronounced that wrong and just admire how good looking this is. Like, I'm allergic to fish, but even I would eat something like this just to see what it tastes like. And I'm sorry, is that gold sprinkled on top? Mwah, delicious. In 1956, after losing a bet at a bar, Thomas Fitzpatrick successfully stole a plane from the airport and landed it in front of the bar. Then 2 years later, he did it again after a man didn't believe he had done it the first time. Wait, how did he do this? The airport must have had terrible security, but for frick's sake, give this man a pilot's license, like he deserves it. Girl came into my work and after a bit of conversation showed me that she had 6 fingers on each hand. This isn't Photoshop. This is an actual photo of a customer who came into the phone store I work at in Summerville, South Carolina. Oh, now that is so cool. First off though, she doesn't have a middle finger. That must be kind of confusing. Second off, she has a wedding ring, which I just feel so sorry for the partner. They go to put on the ring like, which one's the ring finger? Oh no. Beautiful, just beautiful. In 2017, a baby was born in China 4 years after his parents died in a car crash. His grandparents fought a lengthy legal battle which allowed them to use the couple's embryos, which had been frozen in liquid nitrogen. The baby was born to a surrogate mother, and after his birth, all 4 grandparents took a DNA test to prove that the baby was indeed their grandson. Yo, this is some sci-fi level stuff. That is insanely cool. The grandparents were like, we're getting a grandbaby one way or another. I mean, the loss of the parents is tragic, but I really gotta admire the dedication that the grandparents did to have the baby. Bus drivers in Japan went on a strike, but continued to drive their routes while refusing to take fares from passengers, so keeping Japan on time but costing the bus companies gas on top of lost revenue. Ah yes, 1000 IQ revenge play. There's a banyan tree in Pakistan that has been chained and officially arrested since 1898. This happened when James Squid, a British British officer thought the tree was moving towards him after drinking alcohol. Mr. Squid was tripping. He was like, that tree is coming to get me. Somebody put him in handcuffs. D-Day veterans sitting across from their younger selves in the same plane which dropped them into Normandy in 1944. Wow, I can't even imagine how anxious I would have been if I was back on one of those planes. But they're all sitting there looking like, and I'd do it again too. Please stop depicting blobfish like this. I am in unimaginable pain. This is not cute or silly. This is the disfigured corpse of an animal whose tissues have exploded due to rapid pressure change from surfacing. Instead, try depicting them like this. Much better. Psychrolutes, the proper name for blobfish, look like this in their natural habitat deep in the sea. Happy, handsome, and alive. Yeah, this is a good thought and all. It's cool to see them where they're happy and alive, but nah, I'm gonna stick to blobfish. I kind of like blobfish. A man named Chen Si spends every weekend of his life at the Nanjing River Bridge, the world's #1 suicide site, and saves people from jumping. He has saved more than 321 people from killing themselves. Oh man, what a hero. I hope these people got the help they need. 35-minute time exposure of illegal fireworks being set off in Los Angeles. Oh man, imagine if these all happened at the same time. Aliens looking down on Los Angeles would be like, I think this city exploded. This is what an illegally taken picture from one of the greatest pyramids look like. Wait, how did this person get up there? That is so cool. I know you're not supposed to take pictures like these, but I gotta say, I'm really glad this person did, because this is a once-in-a-lifetime perspective. I spent 2 years and 18 hours of exposure time to capture the Crescent Nebula, and I mean, to be fair, it definitely seems worth it. Sure, it might have taken 2 years to get this, but now you have the coolest, most unique wallpaper for your phone. Seems like an absolute win if you ask me. The Yulon magnolia blossoms appear to look like little birds. Why do plants know how birds look? I'm afraid. Yep, and in a couple of years, plants are gonna start to look like humans too. If you're sitting beside a plant, you might want to just take them outside or just get as far away from them as you can, because we're next. No Name is a gem of Canada. Every product is so unbelievably ominous, I really laugh my butt off every time I go shopping. I've never heard of No Name before, but it looks kind of cool. I can imagine walking in and an employee's like, hello, welcome to No Name. My name is Redacted. Would you like cola, cocoa, apple beverage, or perhaps you might like mayonnaise? Complete ancient Rome replica, 36 years in the making. Geez, I knew Rome was developed, but this looks insane. In a small town in County Cork, Ireland, a monument stands in appreciation to the American Katwa Indian tribe. Although impoverished shortly after being forced to walk the Trail of Tears, the tribe somehow gathered $170 to send to Ireland for famine relief in 1847. Aw man, nothing is quite like human compassion. The 1966 North Dakota blizzard. Oh, that is some serious snow. Can you imagine being the weatherman like, this just in folks, looks like we're about to get another 12 of snow. Oh, not 12 inches, no, 12 feet. May God be with us all. With schools closed, SBCFC buses equipped with free Wi-Fi will be parked throughout the city neighborhoods for families that don't have access at home. But did you know CB schools have been doing this throughout the entire year on evenings and weekends? This is another innovative way that CB public schools have been assisting those working families who need it the most. Great job and thank you. These are two different prisoners. Will West is on the left and William West is on the right. They lived about 100 years ago and were not related and did not know each other, but they are part of the reason that fingerprint recognition was brought in. You're under arrest, Will West. I'm not Will West, I'm William West. Wait, what? What's going on here? Geez, how unfortunate. If I was a witness testifying and they put these two in front of me, I would have a freaking meltdown.
Cat's eye look shattered due to genetic mutation. Can it see okay? Because I would call him Glass Eye. Hey, he'd be a cute little butty, but imagine those eyes staring at you when you woke up. Don't give up on your dreams and work until your idols become your rivals. Joseph meets Michael Phelps 2008 Olympics. Joseph beats Michael Phelps 2016 Olympics. Look at how happy Michael Phelps is to be beaten by someone that you met in the past. That's cool. The real value of a single three. My friend, we need everywhere to have threes, not just a single three. Look at how valuable just one is. Not to mention all the air it converts to breathable. Nearly 12 million years ago, volcanic ash engulfed this ancient watering hole in what is now ashfall fossil beds in Nebraska, entombing innumerable creatures and creating a Pompeii of prehistoric animals. That's pretty cool, but it sucks about all the animals, but it looks like something straight out of Dungeons & Dragons, and I love it. Francisco, who's 101 years old, has been alive for all of Italy's championships: 1934, 1938, 1968, 1982, 2006, and now 2021. Heck yeah, dude. Keep supporting your country. And then we got Americans dying in our 60s because we eat too much. The father takes a photo of his daughter every birthday and frames it with the photo taken this previous year. One day, there's gonna be just like an endless little loop, and like it's gonna be like the Twilight Zone, man. It's creepy. Morgan Freeman wears earrings that are worth enough to pay for a coffin in case he dies in a strange place. This is actually an old sailor's tradition. Huh. Well, I know what I'm doing when I travel somewhere weird. Instead of polluting the planet with confetti, hole punch leaves instead. Fully biodegradable. Holy crap, this is a great idea. Why did I never think of doing this before? Shaquille O'Neal, 7'1", next to a cutout of the tallest recorded human, Robert Wadlow, 8'11". Holy crap, dude. Holy crap. And look, he's just like, I'm still the tallest one around right now, baby. Even though he's not, but you know, he's like the famous tall guy. In Interstellar on the Water Planet, the soundtrack in the background has a prominent ticking noise. These ticks happen every 1.25 seconds. Each tick you hear is in a whole day passing on Earth. Man, you gotta love the details to this movie. Part of the deal was that it couldn't be like science fiction. The science had to be grounded in some form of reality. Seriously, look it up. Traffic signals with LED lights on the pole itself. See? Now that's a smarter move. That's a much smarter move because you'll never miss it then, although the yellow light kind of looks like orange, so that might be confusing. Venus flytraps have to put their flowers really far away from their traps so they don't accidentally kill their pollinators, and I love it so much. The fact that it genetically grew to understand it needed to do that is cool. Yeah, it's almost like evolution teaches us that we should work together with everything on the planet. But nope, here we are cutting down the rainforest. Neptune appearing during a storm. Yeah, he looks concerned about how much humans are destroying the sea life, so he's gonna kill us all one day. After needing 13 liters of blood for his surgery at the age of 13, a man named James Harrison pledged to donate blood once he turned 18. It was discovered that his blood contained a rare antigen which cured Reye's disease. Sorry if I mispronounced that. He has donated blood a record 1,000 times and saved 2 million lives. Holy crap, this man's a saint. Get this man a medal. Just before his death in 2005, a carpenter in Iowa named Dale Schroeder decided to donate his life savings to help local poor students go to college. Schroeder had grown up poor and lived as a frugal lifestyle, but had amassed $3 million in savings. In the 14 years since his death, his donation sent 33 students to college. This is what being a human is all about, compassion. But then everyone would rather die with their wealth, like Jeff Bezos, who's gonna bury himself with trillions of dollars for no reason. Some drugstores in the Czech Republic introduced shampoo and shower gel filling machines. Customers can refill their empty bottles with various products so they don't have to buy a new one every time. This, my friend, is called not caring about the bottom dollar. Thank you, drugstores. Amazing gorilla stunt in downtown Vancouver. What? Gorilla? Okay, that's pretty cool. I mean, yeah, it gets the point across, kind of like the straw up the frickin' sea turtle's nose, but I wouldn't call it a gorilla stunt. I'll call it a dolphin stunt. I know it's like guerrilla warfare. I'm just making a joke. Interesting planning idea. Oh, you're a genius. I wonder how long that took of having like gross nets in your yard, but either way, that got pretty cool. In 2012, a Burger King employee anonymously posted an image on 4chan of him putting his feet in lettuce with the caption, "This is the lettuce you eat at Burger King." It took 20 minutes for people to track down the branch the employee worked at and contact the news. He was prominently fired. Why would you even do this? It's like the guys who threw iPads at like Walmart. Why? Like, I get you hate your job. I work these jobs, but come on, dude, don't ruin other people's day. This is why you wear a helmet. Yes, it is. I've been in a lot of motorcycle accidents back when I used to race ATV and dirt bikes, flat track, and let me tell you, helmets save lives, my friend. As a word for a young pig, the word piglet only dates back to the mid-1800s. Before then, a young pig might be called a hogling, a porket, a hogbabe, or a gruntling. Can we bring back these names? They were so much better. I mean, a porket? I freaking love it. Before and after cleft lip surgery. Yeah, my friend had a cleft lip all through like 8th grade and finally got it fixed for 9th grade. Let me tell you, life-saving. Dude's confidence went up 100 things, and I think he got prom king if I'm not wrong. Old motherboard looks like ancient Greek ruins. Holy crap, that's actually really cool. Like, I get it's just a coincidence, but still, pretty sweet. This is Dr. Dennis H. Klatt. You probably never heard of him. He is the American computer scientist who gave Stephen Hawking his artificial voice in the winter of 1987, at least 5 years before it would have been available. Over 300 individual recording clips of Dr. Klatt's actual voice are what we hear when Stephen Hawking spoke. Dr. Klatt knew Stephen Hawking's life expectancy was short, so he completed the program in record time. Stephen Hawking was extremely grateful and sent Dr. Clark a personal letter of thanks and an invitation to visit him. It was not meant to be. Dr. Clark died of cancer less than a year later. He worked on the voice program while undergoing chemotherapy, and ironically, even after the cancer had taken his own voice. Over the years, every time Professor Hawking's voice technology was upgraded, he was offered better, more natural-sounding voices, even one that was customized to sound like his original voice, British accent included. He always refused, saying, "Thank you. No, my late friend Dennis' voice is my voice." Damn, dude, like, the levels people go for some friends. Like, my friend Robbie backstabbed me over $200, but this man, as he was dying, recorded his voice, which was a pain in the butt in the 80s, doing this and then programming it. He's a saint, man. Bicycle from 1946. Why can't we have more bikes like this? This is so cool, my dude. It looks like something that would be made now to be modern. I want a bike like this. A stray dog followed a Swedish racing team throughout their 430-mile endurance race in Ecuador. The dog accompanied the team through the wild jungles of the Amazon and swimming through the river. And all of this because one of the team members had given him a meatball during one of the team's halts. Aw, look at how happy the puppy is. Dude, look at the racers, too. Like, the girl looks super happy, the guy on the left looks super happy, and then the two of them are like, "How is the dog doing this easier than we are? I want to die." Famous jazz pianist Fats Waller was kidnapped by gangsters for 3 days in Chicago in 1926. He was the surprise guest at Al Capone's birthday party. He was later found very drunk, extremely tired, and had earned thousands of dollars in cash from Capone and other partygoers as tips. Do you think that really, like, I get it is kidnapping, but do you think he was happy or, like, just kept drinking out of fear, man? But cool, thousands of dollars back then was a lot of money. It's a lot of money now. These tables at my college are shared by solar panels. This, in turn, provides power to the outlets on the table. Jesus Christ, why is this not at every college? I mean, I know it'd be a lot, but you charge us a lot, so do it. Photobomb legend. My God, you are amazing, my friend. The flame lily, the national flower of Zimbabwe. Holy crap, Zimbabwe, you got a sweet, sweet flower. Can I get some of these? It looks like an alien spaceship or something. Nan Britton, a secretary, claimed she had an affair with U.S. President Warren Harding and gave birth to his daughter. The government tried to shut down publication of her book, and when she tried to sue for child support, she was verbally attacked and ridiculed in court and lost. Her family faced threats for years. In 2015, a DNA test on Ancestry.com proved that she was telling the truth. Do you think she gets, like, back child support now? Because I'm sure that family is rich. I mean, he was president. Of course he's rich, but, like, come on, give him some money, dude. Snow goggles. The first sunglasses were used 2,000 years ago by Inuit hunters. Yeah, man, they just did things better. This was so that they could, not go blind from the snowstorms. Frickin' masterpieces. This piece has tested my patience, but I am committed to seeing how far I can take this process. This is the first time I can step back and get a decent view, albeit in my small design studio. You have more patience than I ever could. Forget that, man. I'd spend like 2 minutes looking at this like, nope, I'm not painting that. See ya. And putting it together, if that's what you're doing, hell nah, dog. Wind power structure larger than the Eiffel Tower will be able to power 80,000 homes. Thank God. Finally, we're gonna do some good things with the planet instead of just like, just burn some more coal. That'll work. The author left a cute little note for his family. To my wife, Margaret, and my children, Ella Rose and Daniel, without whom this book would have been completed 2 years earlier. Chicken with genetic defect. I don't know, man. I guess that's kind of cute. It's like a chicken dog, but also really creepy. This looks like something straight out of Stranger Things. The cast of Friends each made $1 million per episode in the final 2 seasons, and now make $20 million per year per cast member for reruns. The show still generates $1 billion a year for Warner Brothers, all thanks to David Schwimmer encouraging the cast to negotiate as a team. Thank you, David Schwimmer. I know you don't get a lot of roles anymore, but like, hey, you worked as a team and you fought the system. Like, I know you guys are the system now, and like, you guys are all rich and famous, or at least were at one point, but you are still rich. Like, fight the machine as a team. Scientists have revived a plant from the prehistoric epoch. This plant is 32,000 years old. I wonder what type of diseases you could get from touching that. Maybe the zombie apocalypse can finally start. Mozart disliked a performer named Adriana Fresa del Bene. So knowing her tendency to drop her chin on low notes and throw back her head on high notes, Mozart wrote a song which consists leaps from low to high in order to make her head bob like a chicken on stage. Mozart, you petty little... God, I love you. An autumn Malm supply train still resting where it was ambushed by Lawrence of Arabia 104 years ago on the Hejaz Railway. Yeah, that's pretty cool, I guess. It seems like a lot of scrap metal. Maybe you go get that bad boy and, turn it into scrap metal. But whatever, dude, whatever.